and welcome to this Friendly Friday. It's another one, although the year is slowly approaching the end, which I think a lot of us are rather excited about, especially down in South Africa, where we've got our summer holidays coming up. But yeah, today we are joined by the lovely Dorothy de Wet from Connecting Dots, and we're just going to talk a little bit about marketing. We're not really going to focus too much today on the interview style, but rather just throwing questions around and just giving some key insights and maybe some top tips from us for this day. So welcome to this Friendly Friday, and yeah, we look forward to sharing with you before we all head out onto the weekend. So thanks so much, Dot, for joining. Dot has been on our Friendly Friday before. For those that may remember, we interviewed her regarding marketing, and she's joining us again today. So let's just go straight into our kind of first chat that we're going to talk about, which is really the landscape of marketing and how it's changed and how it continues to change. Maybe you just want to share your thoughts around that, Dorothy, and then I'm going to call her Dot, right? Because it's Dorothy, Dorothy. Okay, it's going to be Dot. So share your thoughts around that for us, Dot, and then I'll pop in and we can take it from there.
Sure, no problem. And thanks for having me again, Megan. It's awesome. It's a privilege to be here. So the question was, how has the marketing landscape changed, or how is it changing? And I think marketing, the one big thing is marketing constantly changes. Fundamentals are always there, but I mean, I think from a COVID perspective, people have had to be very innovative with regards to their marketing just to break through the clutter. But the one thing, there are 5 points that I actually want to raise, and I think it stems from what we've seen in 2022. Video marketing is crucial to the success of your marketing strategy. Loads of people, or clients or customers, I think, are fatigued with reading things, and with videos it brings a different energy and different concepts across about your brand. So just a couple of stats that I've got is the data that shows from the beginning of 2022, video posts received 6 times more engagement than posts with images and links. And that's predominantly on Facebook. Twitter saw a 160% increase on video views. And then videos also give a brand a voice. So that's how you develop your customer relationships, which then increases your customer trust and loyalty. So videos fundamentally are critically important. And I mean, we've seen what TikTok has done. It's been astounding to go and I'm not a TikToker. I mean, I'm there to follow my brands, right? But if you look at what people in the US, for an example, are doing on TikTok, from attorneys to doctors, and the amount of followers that they've just got a very creative way of talking about the pain points that their clients or their customers or their patients have. And they're actually just communicating it back and solving those issues via a video. And I would never have thought that it would work. Well, that was maybe 2-3 years ago. And now it's just blown out of the water. So yes, you get your TikTok for social, and then you get your TikTok for educational campaigns, as an example, and people have jumped for that. So once again, it goes back to video marketing. Absolutely crucial, and people have to evolve and go with the times.
Yeah.
The other thing, content has always been king and will always stay king. So there's still a lot more fragmentation and noise within the social environment or in the marketing environment. But how do you break through the clutter? And that is probably one of our clients. It's a pain point for them because they want to be seen, they want to be heard, but everyone wants to be seen and heard. So one of the most important aspects of any digital strategy is content marketing. So content has to evolve into a powerful tool for connecting with your customers, engaging with them, and earning their trust. Because at the end of the day, you need to bring your product or your service to light, but also speak to your potential target market as well as your current target market. And I see, and it's terrible to say this, but you get all these newsletters, and I just see this person or this company's name, and then I either go delete, and then I started questioning myself, okay, but maybe newsletters, it's not for me. But actually, it's a very clever tactic because I'm seeing these emails come through, so it's always staying top of mind because you see who it's coming from. So it's a very subtle brand awareness strategy. Even if you don't read it, you're still top of mind of clients or potential clients. So, and also the subject line, as an example, needs to be that hook to hook you in. So content definitely is still king. Marketing teams place a greater emphasis on data analytics and metrics. Now, I think those days where people, and I was actually talking about it to another client the other day, and they were like, yeah, but what is the return on investment for marketing? And it depends on what type of marketing you do. Some of it you can immediately realize, has it worked? Hasn't it worked? Is it worth your money? Others, you won't be able to analyze that specifically, but once again, put that towards your brand awareness. So businesses are paying more attention on data analytics because businesses are spending less money. So demonstrating return on investment is important when justifying budgets and purchases. And I think that's where a lot of companies, specifically, I'm not talking SMEs here, they are spending less, but they also want to know what they are getting for the lesser amount that they are spending. So that is where the emphasis on data analytics and metrics comes in and is incredibly important, because with a strong emphasis on customer service, marketing teams must understand what people are thinking and doing before embarking on any serious branding or product development efforts. So it goes back to your marketing strategy, knowing your target audience or your potential target audience, and get the data and run the metrics to see if you are engaging the right people, but on top of that, are you spending the right amount of money, and are you reaching a new potential audience? And that data analytics will tell you, right? So that was the third point. And it's available, exactly. Just need to know where to find it, right? Then the other thing, a lot of people or companies, SMEs, have gone to digital services with regards to online in-store purchases, so e-commerce. And convenient payment formats will facilitate the purchasing process. First of all, it makes it very easy for your clients to be able to pay from an online site. You want to boost your sales, so make it easy for customers to pay you. Don't limit yourself to one thing. Give a wide variety of options, such as payment services, bill payment, or installments. Use payment methods that are most popular with your customers. So once again, your marketing strategy will advise you on that, right? And it goes back to knowing your customer. Various options such as shopping on social networks. You've got store features that appear on Facebook, even on WhatsApp, websites, etc. Shopping with chatbots and one-click payment like Google Play, for example, or Google Pay as an example. So making it easier for your customers or your clients to get access to the product or the service that you are offering them. Did you want to ask something, Megs?
No, it's cool. You can go. No, it's fine.
And then the last one that I've got is data collection on one's own. So this is apart from emphasis on data analytics and metrics from a marketing perspective. But get data so that you build a database. So an example on how to collect your own data is through CRM systems, where you collect a database of emails, phone numbers, company names, and do this in exchange for discounts or newsletters or special offers. The world's your oyster on that. And then you also have your clients in the palm of your hands. Yes, we know there's a POPI Act, and we all know that there are rules and certain conditions that you need to adhere to. As long as you've got that stipulated and a client signs in to receiving new newsletters or discounts or special offers, whatever it is, they can always opt out. Make sure you can, or allow them to be able to opt out from that. But that is how you build your business framework from a client's perspective and a marketing perspective, because otherwise, who do you communicate to? You can be putting all these structures into place, but you've got no one to communicate to from your personal perspective or from a brand's personal perspective. And that's how you can create your own data collection. And that's just one example. So those are the top 5 things on my side from a marketing landscape and how it has changed.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks so much for that, Dorothy. I can totally resonate with each and every single one, kind of educating the clients as we go along about these things, because, it's just an example. How many clients we still engage with that have video or form of video or, questioning interviews, lives as we are doing ourselves, etc. But, and it's like, today, I kind of call it a no-brainer. You've got to be doing some form of video, whether it's just your post and you've got some animations going, whether you're creating video with sound and interviews or whatever it may be, there needs to be some form of commitment, because we know, this could have been a form of a blog, but isn't it just much more interactive if you can physically hear people talking to each other? I don't know, myself, I think it's fantastic. And it's available, and these things are available in the palm of our hand, really. We can use our phones to create video, or we can use the Canvas of the world, or like the Restreams where we are right now creating a live video. So loved all your points. I think, just to like maybe close it up, is I think another part of the landscape that's been seen changing, and you've alluded to it, but what I would say is kind of after sales side. Like, I think there's always a lot of emphasis on getting leads and getting leads. And quite often companies get leads, but they're not doing anything with the leads. So I think for me, I've seen a big thing. It's kind of like just looking, stop looking out and often just looking in. Like, so who are our current customers? Are we talking to them? B, who are past clients? When last did we talk to them? And then the kind of C is, we've got leads coming in from campaigns. They're not taking further action, but what are we doing with those? So I think that's the key thing at the moment for me that I'm seeing, is because there's so much noise and there's so much content, it is harder to be found and seen, and then it's still that whole process of getting to know, like, and trust you, which obviously takes longer. So it's just seeming to be a bit wiser to go in for the bait that's there, that, like I call the low-hanging fruits. Your current customers, how are you servicing them beyond their purchase, and how are you even servicing them as you service them now? But what are you doing to make them come back for more? All the last customers that you kind of serviced 6 months to a year ago, are you contacting them? How are you getting value for those customers, and or people that have clicked on, somehow sent some type of information or lead to you? How can we continue to nurture those things? So that, for me, I think, is just to touch on that. And then definitely the omni-channel approach. A lot of people focus on showing up on social media, and it's beyond that at the moment. We need to be showing up in other places, so whether it's a networking event or whether it's an email campaign, as you mentioned, we need to be looking at alternative channels, just social. Social has got an amazing job, and it's got probably the biggest job in maybe creating awareness of your brand. But then how are we going to take it to the next step? Are we going to have online assessments for them? How are we going to get them into those sales funnels? How are we going to engage with them, make it value? Are there downloads? Have we got videos? Like, what are we providing for them? Or do we have Facebook groups that we can create and drive value, or whatever it is? We got to kind of look at our different touch points, but strategically, totally what Dr. said, based on who our clients are, what is it that they need help with, and then creating a content strategy based on those key things. But beyond social, and even in the social realm, being somewhat more creative, not just showing up with posts every other day, because those are the things that people are going to start avoiding those things. And as you know, the algorithms change all the time. So even within your own capacity, you would see that as soon as you start clicking on certain posts, that's what you're going to start seeing more of. And then you wonder, why are you in Facebook? Because you're no longer even seeing posts that are friends and stuff that you actually really wanted to show up on Facebook for. So great tips. I think Dr. covered a lot for us in the sense of some key things that are changing and looking at. And then just sum it up, I thought I would just add that. So something that Dr. and I have spoken about is we kind of see marketing as a full circle. So kind of going from point A to point C, because as I've mentioned as well just in a bit, is that basically people are focusing on the A to B's, but then kind of forgetting about the rest, focusing on the clients they've serviced, focusing on leads that have come in, and not just continually looking for new customers when actually we've got enough to work with. And that for us is that circle factor. It's like taking clients the full circle and then continue. They never have to leave. They can just stay within the circle. It doesn't mean they have to continue to buy, but at all times we want to talk to them. So as Dorothy used the example of that newsletter that she sent me open, well, it's not really relevant to me, but it was that top of mind awareness that she saw the name. So often people will say email marketing is dead. Well, I don't think it ever will be, because it's very targeted. As long as your content is relevant, it's always going to be top of mind. Doesn't matter if you open email or not. If it comes into your inbox, you're going to have seen the name, and that's just going to be a record of top of mind. So let's talk a little bit about this circle that Dorothy and I have spoken about, and how to service our clients better. Because I think, again, often marketing has a bit of a, we've had discussions about this on a few of these Friendly Fridays, but marketing has an understanding that it's just the advertising, but in actual fact, it's really to service our clients. So, whether it's an internal system that we implement, whether it's a software that we put into the business to help improve customer experience, whatever it is, it's all the aspects that we kind of want to talk about. And I think for us, we just want to maybe share with you some key areas where customers could be servicing, or businesses, entrepreneurs could be servicing their clients better. So Dorothy, I don't know if you want to talk to me a little bit about your thoughts around the full circle of marketing and how clients should be, or people, customers, businesses, entrepreneurs, SMEs should be servicing their clients better.
Yeah, so I think we've touched base very briefly on it. People who need to do marketing because they want to promote their businesses, first of all, and this is the foundation for me, need to have a marketing strategy. And a marketing strategy will cover everything that is required for your specific business. So be it the research, the SWOT analysis, the personas, and the list can carry on and on and on. If you don't understand that level of detail about your business, then I can understand why the world becomes totally chaotic for you, because you're thinking you're doing the right thing, but why are you doing this? Is there a reason you're doing this? Just to get your name out there, but are you doing it in the right way? So, for me, that would be my first point of call. Make sure you've got a marketing strategy. If you do have a marketing strategy, and this is where the full circle comes in, are you implementing on that marketing strategy? Because it's all fun and well that you might have a marketing agency and they're doing your marketing for you, but have you shared your marketing strategy with them? Do they know what your business strategy is? And marketing should form part of that business strategy because it enhances the business strategy. So, as they always say, there needs to be a golden thread right across everything, from business strategy, your marketing strategy, your finance side of the business, as well as the operations side of the business. Because if any of those entities or functions are not aligned, then things aren't going to work. And you're probably not going to achieve what you want to from a business perspective. So that would be my first thoughts, thinking about it now. Second of all is you might have your marketing agency. Are they completing the marketing strategy to the way it was presented to you? And in many instances, and Megs, I think you've had it before as well, where you have a client coming to you and they say, listen, I've got a marketing strategy, but no one can implement it. I don't have a marketing agency. I don't have marketing resources within my organization. That's where we can step in and we can assist you to implement according to the strategy. Then there are clients that say, okay, we've got an agency, they can implement on the marketing, but they don't do the marketing strategy. How does that work? That's a bit confusing to me because maybe it's because of resources, I don't know. And it's totally understandable. But surely if you're putting a marketing strategy together, you want to make sure that that marketing strategy is implemented for the clients. And I think that is where the full circle marketing comes in, because we will have a proper understanding. And even if a client comes to us from a perspective that they've got a strategy, we'll deep dive that strategy to make sure we understand that strategy, because obviously the client has signed it off. Now it just needs to be implemented. It's always easy to implement because anyone can implement social media. Anyone can go and create a design for a billboard. Anyone can go and do a website, but is it according to their client strategy or their company's strategy, marketing strategy? So I think that is where the unique value is for full circle marketing, is we look at it in its entirety. We don't just pick certain elements. We look at it holistically and then go in and implement. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Megs.
Yeah, I think you've spoken about the word strategy, which is obviously one of my very soft points. And again, one of those terms that people feel, oh no, my business isn't big enough. I don't need to do a strategy. I'll just take it. What do they say? Shoot from the hip, spray and pray, all those amazing things, and that's what people continue to do. And so that's not new, but people continue to kind of go with the kind of spray and pray, or as we also call the competitiveness. Like, let's look around and see what all the competitors are doing. Okay, let's do what they're doing, right? So, and that's why we tend to find the landscape of marketing also becoming more blurred, because everyone's trying to copy each other or nobody's got real clarity. So, I mean, you've said it and I'll say it again, is that it is, marketing strategy just allows you to get focus. I always say it's like planning for a holiday. You're never going to just get on a plane and go somewhere. I mean, it just doesn't happen that way. I mean, fantastic if you could, I guess, but the reality is we have to know going, and then we're going to do some price checks and see who's the cheapest, and what are the best dates for us, and which accommodation do we want to live on the beach, what is it that we want to do. So it's exactly the same with our marketing strategy. We can't just show up on any platform with no intention. We can't just show up, because then that's when we start talking all about ourselves. So I'm not going to talk about that too much today, but yeah, back to full circle marketing. Is it's just that it's the full circle to service clients better, because as I say, a lot of the emphasis that I see, and thanks to COVID as well, there's a lot of experts all of a sudden, offering their services, and it's fantastic, because I mean, people do need services, but at the same time, I'm not always sure that companies, and we'll get into that in the next question, are getting what they're paying, to be honest. And I think a big part of that is because there is no direction, there is no clear strategy, so there will be no full circle, because then you're just kind of coming in somewhere and just going to try and create this hopefully running machine. But in reality, is we should be starting at point A with our strategy, understanding who our audience is, what our intentions are, what is it that we want to achieve, and then start building messaging and our content planning, everything around that, to the after sales service and beyond. And for me, that is what marketing should be today, and yes, we've got these big agencies that do everything, but the reality is I don't even think they do everything anymore. And again, probably some of the times, quite often, it's overpriced again, and then that factor comes in. What is the value? What am I getting for my money? So yeah, anyway, so I just wanted to touch on that, but let's actually then go straight into our next question, because I think it's going to lead on to what I was kind of getting onto now, is this thought about marketing, where is it adding value in my business? It's overrated, it's over expensive, all those things, which are putting us in a position of people going, I'm just going to do it myself, whatever, right? But so I just want to ask, and we want to talk about the question about how company entrepreneurs, whoever you are, what you need to start looking at and considering to just get a better bang for your buck, if I can maybe say, or how you can improve yourself. Because if you feel your marketing isn't working, then it probably isn't working, right? So we just want to talk a little bit about things to look out for, right? I've alluded to a few in my previous answer now, but let's hand it over to Dot. Let's let her give us some input around this, and then I'll close off our chat. Thanks, Dot.
Yeah, so I think as soon as you start realizing, well, there are two portions on this side for me. First of all, marketing is important, because if you are out of sight, you are out of mind. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are asking yourself the question, is my marketing working? Then my question back is, what do you want out of your marketing? And if there's always the why. If you don't know your why, then that's a challenge, because then you're probably wasting funds, you're wasting your own time. So it is going once again back, and I'm going to keep it like that, Megs, because I think you could just elaborate on that. Goes back to, what do you want to get out of your business? What do you want for your business? What are you providing to your clients and potential clients that will make their lives easier? And how do you break through the clutter? Because everyone is doing marketing in some sort of way, but how do you stand out above the rest? And I think that's where the full circle marketing can assist you, because we'll be able to establish exactly what you've done in the past, where you are aiming to go to, and how we can help you get there. And it might be the same things that you've done previously, but just enhancing it in a different level. Or maybe it's the content. It could be anything, right? So, yeah, I think that I'm going to keep that one short and sweet, and you can elaborate on that. But if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And that's not where any business owner wants to be.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, is like, okay, so if I have to list three things, so yeah, to improve your marketing, right? I mean, everyone that's on my membership program will know. Number one is, you've got to know who you're talking to. And the most important thing here is not just saying I'm talking to women over the age of 30. No, because it's totally broad. So do you want to bed it down in a persona or avatar, whatever it is that you call it. We really need to get into the headspace of that specific woman and specifically what her problems are, because maybe her problem is sleep at night or stress at work or weight loss. Like, what is your solution and how can you help her? So we really, number one is you need to know that. Your marketing agency is not going to know that. So often people will say to me, oh, my social media is not working, and the company keeps posting the same stuff. And my question will always be to them is like, well, what did you tell them? Like, how did you brief them? And it always goes back to, well, I don't know. They just said they're going to do 3 posts a week, and that's what they're doing. So I don't know. And then I go, well, quite frankly, it's actually not their responsibility to establish it. Yes, it should be, but in most, like today, with everyone coming out of the woodwork, is they just posting because you asked them to post. You didn't ask them necessarily, what are you going to post? They didn't necessarily ask you who's your target, because these are some of the questions they're not always equipped with. So it's a two-way street, right? But you, as a business owner, should have clarity on exactly who it is you want. Why? Because that's going to then develop your offering. Because then maybe you start thinking about your offering slightly differently, or maybe you look at a prospect collaborative partner to enhance your offering for this very specific need, because now you've realized they're worried about sleep and kids. So now you're going, okay, hang on, let's collaborate with somebody that can decide, and whatever it is. So that's why I always say is, quite frankly, marketing is your business, because if you have very clear understanding of your market, it will naturally progress your business into a very, very specific offer for that very specific market. And then obviously your message will follow. So that is a definite number one thing to consider. A number two thing to consider is you need to consider the right market, or company, should I say, the right marketing agency, the right service providers. Because there are a lot of us out there offering the same thing, it is difficult for, I know, companies to decide who to work with. So it's totally a good idea to go out and just see what their marketing looks like, or maybe go out and see what reviews are, what customers are saying about them. Maybe try to educate yourself a little bit so you can prompt them with some questions and see how they respond. Because if they've been doing it for a couple of years, they may not be quite equipped with the knowledge that they need to know. So do your due diligence when selecting the right partner for your business. Okay, don't just go with Tannie Sally on the corner of the street because she's charging 1,500 Rand less. I mean, that's why I can just do my nut when you see these things on book and people are underselling our services and offering our services for like next to nothing. Because guess what you're going to get, right? So very, very importantly is look at what they're offering you. And also, I kind of find like the more service providers we use, the more diluted our messaging gets. And maybe that's just in our defense, Dorothy, because we obviously want to create this full circle thing. But the reality is that, like I said all the time, you're using one person for your social media and you're using somebody else for your email marketing, and then you're using somebody else to do this, and everything kind of becomes quite isolated, because if, again, there's no clear strategy and thinking, you're kind of briefing all these different parties in isolation, and guess what? Your messaging is going to become isolated, right? I just say it all the time. So think of, definitely support, have your marketing strategy as a support when also briefing these different agencies, so that they can at least have the one single-minded or golden thread idea or your unique value proposition across your different channels if they are working in isolation. And then probably the last one, and I could have a hell of a lot more, but just for the purpose of time and battery, because I've got load shedding, is definitely ask them for stats. Definitely ask them, like Dorothy mentioned, data is so important. If something's not working, we've got to change it. So if you just posting and 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 posting, and you're not really looking at your insights because it's available, which obviously be either your responsibility, if you're doing it yourself, please do look at your insights. If not, your agency is doing it, get your insights from them. And if you don't understand what the insights are, please ask them to explain it to you, so you can also then improve on those. And like we always say, trial and test. So those are probably just the key things for entrepreneurs, businesses out there to look at, to really start enhancing their marketing and what they're getting out of it, and even their bang for their buck. Is a lot of people are just taking your money on a monthly basis and posting stuff out there, and at the end of the day, it's just with no intention. It's not speaking to the right audience, and because you may be not educated to know what you need to know, they just get away with it. So definitely challenge them on who's your personas. Definitely choose the right partner to work with, and definitely get as much detail and information that you can, so you know what you're getting out of the money that you're investing on a monthly basis. So I think that's us for today. It's been awesome, a bit longer than normal. Sorry, Doc, but thank you for the insights, and hopefully today was somewhat of a learning for everyone that's listening. And yeah, please feel free to comment, subscribe to YouTube. We obviously always have our interviews going live there. And yeah, happy to, if you have any questions, pop us a comment when you watch the video or the replay, and we're happy to help you. And thanks, Dots. Have an awesome Friday, and thank you for sharing with us today.
No, thank you for having me again, Megs. I really appreciate it. It was great. I hope the audience have taken a few key messages out from our session today. Yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome. Thanks everybody. Until next week, take care and happy Friday.